Hey, everybody, and welcome to our show today. We thank you for joining us. As always, you can always watch us here. We'll also have the audio version put up shortly after the show is over, wherever you get podcasts. That will be available, so you can always check us out. And if you're not able to be here with us live each Friday at 5 o'clock, you can, of course, tune in to the replay on YouTube at any point in time after the show is over. Well, today, as you can tell, Matt is not here with us today. He is, again, busy with his nursing school stuff. On Sunday, he's going to have like a 10-hour clinical. So he's going to be studying right now. He needed that time to just study up and just take a breather because it's a lot of stuff that you have to learn and memorize and get right. And so we are going to let him do that and have some time just to relax once he gets done studying. I'm glad it's him and not me because I would probably not do very well learning all of those medical terms because craziness. If you're here in the chat, of course, just comment if you want to comment or if you want to interact. As always, on any platform you're on, you can just put your comments there and I can see them and we will chat. Well, it's been a busy week here for me. It's been really nice in San Diego, actually. The temperatures have been about like 70 degrees. Now, you're probably like, oh, Cody, you're not going to get to go to the beach. Well, I could maybe. It's going to be like 80 degrees, actually. Today it was like 80 or 90, and then tomorrow's 90, and then it goes back down to 60s. But I don't think I'm actually going to get to go to the beach this week and have other things going on that I have to do. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. But it is nice to get those fall temperatures. I know in many parts of the country now it's starting to get cooler, which is always nice. You can always wear long sleeve shirts, which I was really excited to do. I went to the mall this week and kind of ran some errands, and I got to wear a sweater. And that's kind of nice when you're having to wear tank tops like all the time because it's not really always hot here, but it's very warm. But that's been really nice. So I'm getting really excited for that. Of course, we have Halloween coming up. We have our Halloween show that we're going to be doing, which is really exciting. We're going to be filming that very soon, and that will be up on the last week of October. And so it'll be like all kinds of spooky things going on and some fun stuff I think that y'all will enjoy that we have planned for that. And then we're going to be talking about it in a little bit, but we're going to be talking about asexuality next week. David, Matt's husband, is going to be joining me, and we're going to be talking about asexuality, what it is, some of the myths that are kind of crazy surrounding it because people just don't know a lot about it, so they make things up. And then, of course, a lot of people just don't know a lot about the ins and out about asexuality because it's really not talked about in general, and even in the LGBTQ community, it's not talked about at all. So we're gonna be chatting about that, and hopefully some education. You'll be able to learn something from that episode. So I'll have some clips about that, and then also we played a fun game with David. We played a steakhouse or gay bar, and that was a lot of fun. Now, of course, this week we had a new episode. And by the way, if you're in the show here, and let me know what you've been doing this week. How was your week? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything exciting? I'd love to hear about that. Yeah, but this past week on Wednesday, we released a new episode. We talked with Bree. She came back on the show. Of course, we previously chatted with her about gender boxes, and you can check out that episode if you've not seen it. Again, it's video version and audio version available for that. But on gender boxes episode, we talked about how when we grow up, we really talk about male gender boxes and female gender boxes, and that kind of goes into everything in our lives. So toys, like toothbrushes, like things you don't think about are all gendered. So when we're growing up young, we had that in our head that this is girl, this is boy, clothing, all kinds of things, nail polish. And we talked about how we're trying to break those gender boxes, what we can do to help facilitate that. And a lot of times, things that we grew up with are continually stuck with us. She mentioned something about getting shoes one time, and the guy at the shoe store was like, "Well, those are girl shoes." well, they're just shoes. But it's something that has continued to stick with her throughout this time. But that was a really good episode. But this past Wednesday, we did talk about gender fluidity and how it's just kind of like a spectrum. A lot of people, are not just strictly gay or lesbian. It's just a spectrum. You could be anywhere along that line, and there's lots of places for you to fit in. We talked about when we were growing up that there wasn't a lot of this information out there. There also wasn't really the internet for us to be able to figure out what was going on. So if there was something we had a question about, there was nowhere to go. It wasn't taught in schools. It's still not taught in schools. Health classes tend to not teach that. We talked about in an episode previously where there's lots of school boards who are trying to outlaw like AIDS and HIV education within their health and sex education curriculum. And it's like, well, not only gay people get HIV, like straight people do as well. So it's good to teach people. It's good to teach kids. And so there's lots of school boards wanting to outlaw that. But so yeah, we talked about all of these things and the gender fluidity of that, and that kids these days and younger people these days have the advantage of being able to have the internet and be able to look up things, and they basically have things open for them so that they can learn about these different things. And we've talked about throughout time that terms and words change meanings, or we add new words to mean certain things. And same thing within the community. We talk about in the episode demisexual, pansexual, bi, and all of those terms, are a little bit different. And so you as a person can feel different, and this person over here can feel different, and you're able to fit into those places. So we really talked about all the gender fluidity and how, again, it's basically a spectrum. And this is a little clip of the episode that aired on Wednesday. We are excited again to be bringing on one of our guests. Everybody, please welcome Bree back to the show.
Hello, hello, hello.
On Monday, of course, was National Coming Out Day. And so you had everybody posting about their coming out stories. But someone who did come out, we kind of heard these rumors, but someone who did come out was the new Superman.
It's nice that even something like small is still having like queer representation. But now the fact that like superheroes, that's huge. That's like really groundbreaking.
I feel like today, young people have opportunities to feel like they don't have to like pick certain things. They don't have to be like gay or lesbian or bi.
That like I was just talking about this the other day, that when we were younger, there was the term metrosexual.
Oh yes.
And I think that's just so hilarious that they had to create like a whole box for guys that wash their face. Like if you used a specific face wash, you were metrosexual.
Your sexuality is kind of like on a line. You're not either or.
Right.
So you could be more leaning towards one side of the spectrum and then later on leaning towards another side of the spectrum.
I think it was called like the Kinsey scale.
Yes.
If I'm correct. Yeah. And it was on like a scale of like 1 to 10, 1 to 8.
I think so. 1 to 8, 1 to 10.
Yeah. And it's like, I personally do not believe that anyone is like on either end.
Demisexuals. And you have a sexual bond or an attraction to someone of any gender or anything like that, but you have to have some kind of friendship or some bond, emotional bond there before you may find them attractive or different things. When we're talking about sexuality, meeting people who are lesbian and gay and bi and trans and pan, you're just such a more well-rounded person, and you see things in the world a lot differently than, if you're just like gay, straight,
right,
nothing else.
And there's representation now, which is so important.
So again, if you didn't get to check out that episode, check it out. Video version on YouTube, audio version available wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, always a reminder on the podcast, audio version, rate us and review us so that other people can find us, because that gets the algorithm going a little bit. Now, coming up next week, as I said, we're going to be talking with David, Matt's husband, about asexuality and what that means for him and what it means in general. We have about a 25-minute conversation talking about asexuality that I think is really interesting and really in-depth. I actually just sent Matt a little bit ago a rough copy of it for him to listen to it, and he loved it, and I'm so happy that he did. But coming up on this Wednesday, we're going to be talking with David. Now, we do play a game. Like I said, we play Steakhouse or Gay Bar, and here is just a little clip of what you can expect from the episode with me and David. And today we're going to be playing a game that I'm going to call a Steakhouse or Gay Club. So I'll give you a name, and you have to just tell me if you think it's a gay bar or a steakhouse. Excelsior. Gay club or steakhouse?
I'm pretty sure that's a gay club.
You are right.
Yay.
It's a gay club. The Velvet Hammer.
That has to be a gay club. There's no way. Velvet, you know what they're hammering.
Well, it's actually a steakhouse.
What?
I know. Cut. Steakhouse or gay bar?
I hope it's a steakhouse. Fingers crossed.
You're right. It's a steakhouse. The Pink Pony.
If that isn't a gay club, I'm gonna be so upset.
Oh, it's a steakhouse.
Oh my god.
And our final one, the Loading Zone. A gay bar or a steakhouse?
I'm being set up. That's gotta be a gay club. I mean, the loading zone.
You're right.
Yay.
It's a gay bar. So there is other news happening. I know, it's like, what? Yes, the world still goes on and on despite our best effort to slow it down and stop it and get rid of some of this horrible news that happens. But there is some good news, some more light at the end of the tunnel as far as COVID is concerned. And that is because an FDA advisory panel has endorsed Moderna's COVID booster for some groups. Those groups are the same groups basically that were in the Pfizer booster group. The 65 and older, and those who may have pre-existing conditions, or those who work in an industry that brings them face-to-face with people that potentially would have COVID in larger numbers. So that would apply in this case. So the advisory panel, it did endorse that. Now, again, all of this goes to the CDC for final approval from the CDC's final recommendations. But a good thing, the FDA advisory panel did endorse that. Some big breaking news also today, because those who had Johnson & Johnson were kind of left up in arms, like what to do, because it was already less effective than the Moderna and COVID, but still a very, very productive vaccine. It still completely, really, really works, which is absolutely amazing. We never thought we would even get to where we were as far as vaccines, but all of them surpassed what we wanted. But people who had Johnson & Johnson have been worried and have been looking out for news, and there really hasn't been any news. They have not been giving any information out. But today, the vaccine panel did recommend Johnson & Johnson boosters after data says the vaccine's effectiveness has, quote, headroom to improve. So we'll be looking more for that coming up next week. All this is going to, of course, go to the CDC for final approval. Also, there's some data from Moderna as far as children vaccines, and so all of that information again will continue, and we'll talk about it next week, because hopefully by then something will have been said, because people who didn't have Pfizer were kind of just left in the dark of what to do, but at least now we're kind of getting an idea of what we should be doing and what to look out for. So this next one, I thought is interesting. And now everyone who knows me knows I love wearables. I have my Apple Watch. I love everything about the Apple Watch. Well, overseas in England, there is a new health device. It is called the Atom Sensor. It is done by Atom Health. Now, this is a penis ring, the first ever wearable erection tracker that can detect if you're at risk for diseases. Now, the Atom Sensor is attached to the base of the penis with a band and worn overnight. Now, they say it's comfortable to wear under pajamas and it's almost unnoticeable. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't even wear pajamas. So, you know, there's that. There's a little information for you. Now it does overnight as you wear it. It counts how many erections you have during your sleep. Now they say on average, a healthy man has an average of about 3 to 5 erections per night, lasting up to 3 hours in total. And I did not know uh, that it lasted like 3 hours. Like what? I mean, I guess if you don't get a lot of sleep, you don't have a lot of erections at night, which maybe is not healthy. But they say, again, in studying this, they're not sure why this happens, but many people in the health world believe it is a way to keep the bodies healthy and basically your penis healthy. But the Atom Sensor can reveal why a man is struggling with erectile dysfunction. Now, there are dozens of causes for this, and this device will help kind of trigger into what the cause may be. Now, right now, it's only available to men who have come to a specialist for erectile dysfunction there in England. But it is hoped that the device will be available to buy for home use by mid 2022. And of course, if you know me, you know again, like I said, I love my wearables and my health tracking. I track my walking, my exercise, my sleeping, my eating, my calorie intake. I track it all. And I love just tracking that data to see how it progresses over time. And of course, this is how you found with the Apple Watch tracking your heart and different things like that. They've been able to determine that it can be a kind of let you know maybe that you're going to have COVID because of early sign indication like low blood oxygen levels. And so, again, this is just another tool in the shed for doctors to help determine the causes for erectile dysfunction, which does affect a lot of men, and many men don't talk about it. And so, this is really important to have something. And again, especially if you'll be able to have it, take it, get it, have it at home, and then consult with your doctor about those particular causes. Well, Thanksgiving is almost here. And with that, Thanksgiving I eat turkey. Christmas I don't, but a lot of people do. But if you do eat turkey for the holidays, you might want to go ahead and get your turkey and put it in the freezer because turkey farmers say there could be a shortage this season. Goodness, there's a shortage of everything, but now it is going to the turkeys, and the reasons is delay in production. There's not enough people to butcher the turkeys, and then there's not a lot of people to deliver the turkeys to your stores and your distribution channels. So if you want a turkey, get your turkey because you don't want to be there on Thanksgiving and not have your turkey or at Christmas. So they say go ahead and shop early. Now, in some actual good news, Adele has released her soul-stirring comeback single, Easy on Me. Now, last week we talked about her beautiful Vogue cover, as you can see here on the screen. But now her latest single, Easy on Me, you can tell that she has not lost any of that power of her voice. The new single's lyrics reveal a deeper vulnerability. Now, the multi-million-dollar selling singer has not been forgotten, despite her years out of the limelight. Her fans have been racking up the views on her song debut on YouTube. Now, just in the early 10 hours of its release, it had over 18 million views. Now, her much anticipated new album 30 will be put on sale November 19th. She did announce that this week. Now, recording began 3 years ago, and she wrote on Twitter at the time when her life was, quote, a maze of absolute mess and inner turmoil. Now, Adele's Easy on Me is currently #1 on iTunes. It was released last night. Now, this is also crazy, but so far, Easy on Me is being ignored by radio in general. But specifically two of the biggest pop radio stations in the United States, both Z100 in New York and Kiss FM in Los Angeles, have not played the song once. They say basically people in the know of music that this song may be hard to play. It's more of a ballad, it has a great chorus, but it's hard to put on radio again. So the only way it's going to get on there, I guess, is if people call in. But do people really even call into the radio anymore? I mean, the only radio I guess I listen to is like Sirius XM radio, which I guess is kind of a radio, but it's pre-recorded radio in many cases. Or people just listen to their Apple Music or Spotify or Pandora or whatever. So I thought it was kind of interesting. Radio, I haven't thought about that. Radio kind of has gone away in my mind, but it's still chugging along. I actually I have a few friends that I know who work in radio stations and who do DJs, and it's a fun job. But they're working away as well. So crazy though, not played yet, and they haven't even played some of our older stuff. Both the Z100 and Kiss FM play oldies occasionally mixed in with the current pop music, and they've not played any of her old ones. Not that her old songs are oldies, but I thought maybe they would. Some other good news: Lance had his babies. They came. Him and his husband announced the birth of their twins, Violet Betty and Alexander James. Now, the delightful pair were born via surrogate and came 1 minute apart. Now, Lance wrote on Instagram, "The baby dragons have arrived. I cannot express how much love I feel right now. Thank you for all the kind wishes. It meant a lot. Now, how do you change a diaper?" Wow. Twins, that is going to be a lot of work. So wishing you all the luck because one baby's enough. I remember taking care of my niece, and it is just a lot of constant screaming, and then you got to change the diaper all the time. So I can only imagine twins, but what a delight in your life, honestly. And so I'm really happy for them. And I don't know, maybe a little envious. I always thought, wouldn't it be cute to have a little Cody? Maybe one day. So what am I loving? Well, I guess I'm loving the spooky season. It is here. I've been working on some more Halloween decorations. My house has already been decorated outside and inside for Halloween, but I just today finished working on this like outdoor creepy character that I built. And so that is set up and put up. I actually have not even seen it yet outside at night. So this is going to be fun checking that out tonight. But spooky season, again, I'm really excited also because our spooky show coming up on the last week of October. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. I'm not really sure what we're going to dress up as yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. I just, again, want to say if you are here and you joined us and you're like, where's Matt? I miss Matt. I don't want to watch this show without Matt. Well, I do thank you for watching, and I thank you for hanging out with me. But Matt will be back with us hopefully next Friday. He won't be with us Wednesday, but that's because I've already recorded the episode with David. I took David instead of Matt, but that'll be coming on Wednesday. Me and David, our conversation about asexuality. But then Matt should be joining us again next Friday at 5 o'clock Pacific. But we want to send him all the good vibes because the 10 hours that he's going to be doing clinicals on Sunday just seems like a lot for me. And so I can only imagine actually having to do that and study and make sure you know everything and you don't want to get anything wrong and the whole thing. So I'm sending him all the good vibes. And I do miss him. I miss him. We have not got to chat that much. And then we have not got to see each other face to face on FaceTime or calls or anything like that. Like, I don't know, since like, I guess last Friday. But it's sad. But he'll be back with us soon enough. Again, you can check us out on COMA Cast on Facebook, the COMA Cast, on everything else, Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter and YouTube. Of course, you're already on YouTube probably watching this, so you can be sure and subscribe, like, and comment on our videos, because no matter what, that always lets people find us more. That's how the algorithm works. Same thing with our podcast. If you'll like and comment on that, that helps more people find it, because that's the only way the algorithms work. is to get people's attention, that they know, like, oh, people are actually watching this or listening to this. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Again, thank you so much for joining us for this episode, or for joining me on this episode. Again, on Wednesday, we're going to have an episode about asexuality with David, who's Matt's husband. That's ahead of the last week of October, which is Ace Awareness Week. So a good kind of mini education on asexuality before Ace Awareness Week, so you kind of know what that whole thing is about and celebration is about, because again, a lot of people just don't know a lot about asexuality. And again, we'll be back here Friday at 5 o'clock Pacific, live for an all new episode. I hope all of you have a great weekend. Stay safe, have fun, and send us photos and posts and tag us and let us know how your weekend goes. Anyway, until Wednesday and then on Friday, I'm Cody. See you soon. Bye, everybody.